Hey there, self-lovers. It's Katie here, your self-love coach and the founder of the School of Self-Love. And welcome to Isla Mujeres. I'm on a little island off the coast of Cancun in Mexico. I'm actually sitting on a tree house deck right now. So literally up at tree level, overlooking the ocean, and I've literally just finished a yoga class, and I had this inspiration when I woke up this morning. It's really early now, it's like 8:30 in the morning, and so it was an early class, and I woke up early, and I woke up thinking, well, here I am, fortunate enough to have just experienced the most incredible transformational women's retreat, all around women's empowerment and kind of firing up our feminine energy and finding a beautiful balance between our masculine and feminine energies, sort of within and externally. And it was incredibly healing, incredibly challenging, and ultimately really transformational. And I know I've been talking to you already about this, and I've done a couple of Facebook Lives about it. And I actually promised to do some Facebook Lives from here throughout the retreat, but I was having a massive aversion to any level of technology, and quite frankly, the Wi-Fi here isn't okay. It's not great for doing Facebook Lives. So I'm creating you a video, and I had this inspiration this morning to share what I've learned this past week. What's come up for me, what I've healed and transformed. Because I think, speaking for myself, over the last, at least the last decade, a lot of my inspiration to go to my own next level has come from my coaches, and from hearing their stories and hearing their trials and tribulations, and learning from them. So I really want to share that with you. I love to be a really open book, and I hope that what I've learned inspires you. So I thought I would, and by the way, I hope you can see me okay. I know that the backdrop is so stunning. You're going to see that far more clearly in this video, which is wonderful. I'm a little bit dark, I know, but bear with. I want to share I had so many awakenings this week, but I want to share the awakening that was probably the most profound, because it takes something I teach to a whole new level. As you know, I'm very big on emotional expression. I think it's one of the most powerful ways we can really love ourselves and honor ourselves. I think to accept and honor and be okay with your emotions is so important, to not make them wrong, and to give yourself a safe place to let them out when they need to come out, because as we repress our emotions, we're making ourselves sick. And equally, when you turn off or repress the tougher emotions like jealousy or fear or sadness or anger, as you push those down, you're also pushing down your joy and your happiness and your peace, because you can't selectively push down emotions. So I'm all about emotional expression. But something came up for me right before the retreat. A really uncomfortable situation came up for me where I really had to take a stand for myself and speak my truth. And I think, through taking a stand for yourself and speaking your truth, emotion is going to come up, and that's okay. I think there's two types of emotion. There's the emotion that's reactive, when you're not actually connected to the truth of who you are, and it comes out really explosive and kind of it doesn't feel safe, right? It's not great, and you know what I mean. It feels really yucky afterwards. And then there's the type of emotion where you are connected to you and you do know your truth, and it's a responsive emotion where you've kind of checked out a scenario and you're in a safe place to express how you feel about what's going on. So I was there, and I had to have a really difficult, very confrontational conversation, and it wasn't elegant. There was nothing perfect about it. There was nothing clean about it. It was, although I was in my power, it was it was still messy. The emotions around it were still messy. And the response I got from the person I was having this conversation with was, they didn't want to hear what I had to say. They made out that I was crazy. that I was selfish, that I was too much, that I was kind of emotionally unstable somehow, or emotionally out of control. They really judged my opinion and how I was feeling. And as much as I was able to stand by how I felt and not make myself wrong for that, I found myself believing them when they said, you're too much, you're selfish to share this information with me, you're emotionally out of control. Like I believed them. And then I made myself wrong, and I experienced this kind of proving energy where I wanted to prove that no, I'm not crazy. I'm not out of control. Like, I'm speaking my truth, right? And I felt like I had to really prove myself. And that really yucky feeling of having to prove myself as being okay and not messy, that stayed with me for 2 or 3 days. It was really yucky and uncomfortable, and I couldn't sit comfortably with having had expressed myself that day, which should have been an empowering experience. Instead, I came away wanting to prove that I was right, that my opinion mattered, that I counted, that I'm not crazy. And I worked on this at the retreat, and without telling you everything that I did to work on it, suffice to say it was like incredible in terms of really, really incredible emotional expression. What I realized was that I did feel crazy. I did feel messy. I did in some ways feel emotionally out of control. As much as I was connected to me and I knew I was speaking my truth and I wasn't out of control, I felt my emotions did feel messy and tumultuous and out of control. And that's okay. It's okay. Like, sometimes our emotions feel crazy, and that's okay. And I really had to learn to embrace that and be okay with my crazy. You know, part of the retreat was this really fabulous boudoir photo shoot, and I really took it to the next level. And my pictures, and I might be brave enough to share some of them with you guys, but my pictures were me just being crazy. Like, I really embodied crazy because I thought it was really an important way for me to embody this new learning, this new understanding, that it's okay to be crazy, it's okay to be messy, it's okay to not be perfect, because we're not. And then here I am on this incredible island, Isla Mujeres. It's the island of women. And this beach in particular that I'm on now, it's the north beach of the island. It is renowned for being still, no wind, the ocean is dead flat. It's so calm. And I actually came here the day before the retreat started, and that is how it was. Then I went away on retreat, and I've come back here to this part of the island for a couple of days, and the effects of Hurricane Irma have come through, and they've hit the island, and we've had like crazy winds, crazy ocean, massive waves, like everything's crazy. It smells bad because everything's been churned up and there's seaweed everywhere. It stinks. Everything about it is messy and crazy. And I was like, oh my God, even nature isn't perfect. Like, it's perfect in its craziness. It's unapologetic about being a crazy, smelly mess right now. And that's okay, because like, we are nature too. It is, our emotions are natural. Like, I thought it was just such a beautiful metaphor to witness the craziness of the environment as an external sort of image of what had been going on inside of me. So I'm kind of all about embodying and expressing and being okay with my craziness now. And this video is to encourage you to also really embody and be okay with your messy stuff and your crazy stuff and everything that's not pretty and perfect. Like, I really encourage that of you. And there's another yoga class about to start, and a beautiful yoga teacher has just arrived. Hi. And it's time for me to wrap up, but I really want you to embody your messiness and your imperfection, and continue to hone that relationship with yourself, continue to hone that deep internal connection, so that when you do need to speak your truth and when you do need to express your emotion, it has you feel safe. But don't apologize that sometimes you feel crazy and messy, and sometimes the way you speak your truth isn't perfect, and it's not elegant, right? That was just such a game-changing lesson I've personally learned this week, and I really hope that you'll take it away too. So, love you loads from Isla Mujeres. Enjoy the view, and see you next time. Bye.